Sandy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So right now, I am going to introduce our speaker for today. Yeah, his name was going to be Reverend Mark Johnson. But unfortunately, Reverend Mark woke up this morning. Well, actually, he has been ailing for the last couple of days, but woke up this morning and realized that being here would not only be a challenge for him, but he didn't want to be a person that can make any of you sick. So he's staying home. Reverend Mark, I hope you're watching. Push that button, that donate button now. Everybody wave at Reverend Mark. There we go. We love you. We know that you're getting better. And so your speaker for today is, you got it, it's me. So we're going to work with this, and it's going to be fun. So I am so grateful to Shaku for bringing in the unsung heroes and Sandy for the gratitude song. Yeah, that's going to come. That's going to come. A time such as this. A time such as this. To be grateful, is this just the best? It's the best time to be grateful. So today, the intention for today earlier, as you heard that we were going to be, is to express our gratitude to our volunteers. Now, I know all of you show up every now and then, and we all do pieces, and we're all part of this wonderful community, but there is a core group of people that are here every single week. Not only on Sundays, but during the week, and they bring their love and attention, their time, their talent, and their treasure every which way. And I'm going to take an opportunity right now to say thank you to them. Are we on? Are we good? All right. I'm going to read the list because I'm afraid that I've even missed somebody on this. So this is when the minister steps out and goes, God help me. All right. And I would, if you can and would, I'd love you to stand when I call your name. We're going to start with Alesta. Yes, Anne McGrill, where are you? There we go. Reverend Kathy Huff is not, come on, Alesta. Come on, you can stand. Alesta, you can stand. There we go, thank you. Keep standing, yeah. Reverend Kathy Huff is not with us today. Mr. Charles Stewart, please stand. Christy Soares and Dennis Soares. Dennis Alstrand, hi there, you're away. Gaza, there we go. Mr. James Wall is away. Mr. Jacques Delis is away. Joachim, yes. John Hitch is away. Kerry, there you are. Yes. Miss Kit Winterbourne, she's there. Miss Kit Bryce. Yes. Miss Laureen Campbell. Miss Lissa Corey is away. Miss Maddie Carr, the water girl. Reverend Mark Johnson, who's away. We also have Matt Bash. We have Mr. Ray Ryan. We have Samantha Shea, who's away. Miss Sandy Alstrand. Miss Sandra Silva. Mr. Scott Garris, Mr. Shaku Hoffman, Mr. Sean Ferguson, Miss Sherry Orr, Miss Susan Hicks, Susanna Diley, Mr. Tom Cashman, Miss Trish O'Halloran. She's away today. All right, folks. Now, there were people that didn't get to stand because they're not here today. Do you understand that this makes up almost 50% of our community? There's no other community in CSL that can say the percentage of volunteers of service team is this great. Yes, congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And when you are done with service, I'd love you to go over and visit Miss Sherry Orr. She has a little something for you as a gratitude from me and the community. It's exciting, isn't it fun to see this many people in service? And there is a gratitude for everybody else because everybody participates in this. I just wanted to bring your attention to the ones that are here in service every day. There's a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, "The purpose of life is not to be happy." Well, that's questionable, but let's just go with them, all right? The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. And each and every person that comes through that door, not only if you are in regular service, but if you're here just to be with us, you have succeeded. So thank you. All right, let's get back to a time such as this. So yesterday at Reverend Livy's installation, she asked me to speak to what it means to be in ministry in a time such as this. And when I woke up this morning and listened to Reverend Mark's voice, or what I could hear of it, I went, okay, let's go back a little bit and look at it, and let me share some of it with you. So what we do find ourselves in a time such as this, it is unique in its own way, and yet we have experienced many times like this before, because this is part of a paradigm shift. It's a shift in consciousness, it's a shift in the world. So ever since the beginning of time, we've had paradigm shifts. You know, we've learned to call them ages. There was the pre-classical age, the classical age, the modern age, and before that, way back when, we had what we call the shamanic or the indigenous age. These paradigms, they don't only represent a worldview, but they also represent the way people want to show up in the world. What is important to them at this moment in time? So what we notice is that as that changes in the individual, so it changes in the world. It's a change in consciousness. We shift things around us as we shift our own consciousness. So often we will refer to this as paradigms in consciousness, because truly that's where it all really begins. And the shifts happen because there is a call for a different experience in our personal lives, things that are not working, things that are just not acceptable anymore to us. And we start to shift our consciousness from maybe something that we learned as children, as you know, from our parents, that this is the way it is. Have you ever heard the statement, well, that's what they say, or that's what they do, or that's just the way it is? Yeah, no. No. I don't know who they is. I would love to meet them one day, because I would love to have a conversation with they. It is a collective consciousness that is the they. And when we say those words, we are actually moving into a default creation mode, where we allow the general atmosphere of the consciousness of the worldview to be the deciding factor in our lives. Really? But it's the truth. And unfortunately, there's a very large percentage of this world that believes that there is something that's controlling all of this and making that the way to be. We're here because we don't buy that. We don't buy that. We know that we create, and we know that we are in a place where creation is moving right here, right now. So a lot of times in these paradigms, the shifts happen a little bit at a time. A little small move here, a little small move there, you know. And then every now and then you have something really large, a huge event. So interestingly enough, about 7 years ago, I was actually studying this concept, theoretically, I might say, of shifts in paradigms of consciousness, shifts in paradigms. And we were all looking at how it was emerging right now. What were the things we could see that were coming forward in what they call this new emerging paradigm? Then we had COVID. Yeah. And suddenly, we were no longer studying this theoretically, we were in the midst of one of the breaking open moments of change in this paradigm. It changed everything. If anybody wants to tell me that, oh, this is the same as it used to be, no, it's not. It might even appear to be the same, but we aren't the same. And if we aren't the same, then nothing is going to be the same. And so this was a whole big shift. And then, of course, over the last month, we've seen another opportunity to see a huge change in worldview within us, around us, all over the place. So we actually, there's a name for this new paradigm that is finding its way. It's called holism. Holism. It's something that I think even when we were back in the 60s and 70s and talking about the age of Aquarius, this is what we were talking about. We were talking about this new paradigm that was going to make itself known, this paradigm of holism. And the systems in holism, the word that comes up is interconnectedness. Interconnectedness. Now, I've spoken a lot about interconnectedness, and I always start with that idea about in the morning I sit down and have my cup of coffee. And if I give myself 1 second to think, what did it take to get me to have that cup of coffee sitting on my lanai? If you think about interconnectedness and you love your coffee, the two go hand in hand, will show you just exactly how the world has to work in order for you to have that lovely beverage in the morning. Interconnectedness. All things related through a cooperative networking. Very simple, right? Very simple. Something that seems, well, of course, except that that's not necessarily the way the previous paradigm or the one before necessarily worked. That's why the change is happening, because there's a shift in the worldview, there's a shift in the individual view. So within this paradigm, there are a couple of characteristics that I want to share with you that really bring it to the fore. The first one, the first characteristic, is striving for wholeness. And no, this may mean a lot of different things to different people, but in its essence, it is a desire to move towards a state of healthy connections. Be it through spiritual practices, support groups, or holistic health choices, we are trying to connect to our true internal essence and to that which is greater than us. These connections can forge a unity of purpose as we live lives that are life-affirming. So as we strive for wholeness, we look at that which is life-affirming. Wholeness, life-affirming. It's a point of view of what is life-affirming that can create that wholeness within ourselves and in our community. Secondly, striving for balance and integration is an integral part of our experience. We want to keep a healthy atmosphere in all aspects of our lives. We do this by being open and aware of our personal and societal issues. This is where the worldview comes in. We watch our personal health by balancing the mind, the body, and the spirit, and at the same time keeping our awareness on how our personal actions impact our society. We nurture our educators as we understand the importance that they play in our growth and in our future. We choose to interact with businesses that are socially responsible. It is important to keep a balance as we care for ourselves and at the world around us. Striving for balance, caring for ourselves and the world. It's a beautiful balance because the two, when they work together, bring forth life-affirming and wholeness. Can you see this all is part and parcel of these aspects that come together to create this new idea of holism? Thirdly, striving after empowerment for ourselves and others and cooperation. It benefits the one and the many. And as we see and nurture the potential within us, we're able to do the same for those around us. Whether we're advocating for human or animal rights, connecting in peace rallies or meditation groups, or whether we're promoting change in our educational goals, it makes no difference. That we are in action is what is important for our growth. It is said that as the tide rises, so do all of the boats in the harbor. So as we strive for our own personal empowerment for ourselves, and we strive for those around us, we actually empower all of humanity. Working together, that interconnectedness creates this beautiful foundation that humanity can come together on and rise up. All right, exploring unconditional love and compassion. These are so much a part of our natural essence that when we have an opportunity to explore them, our hearts cannot look away. Our hearts cannot look away. We want to be beneficial presence in the world and to participate in the whole for its best and highest good. So we seek to find ways to fulfill this desire. We seek to find ways to serve humanity and this planet that we call home. We share our unconditional love and compassion. We support each other. We raise each other up. This is togetherness. This is interconnectedness. And then this one I particularly like. It's exploring non-locality. And I bring this one in specifically for all of our intellectuals in the community here. For I know that sometimes we speak only to the heart, but sometimes we need to address also the intellectual or the, not even theoretical, but that which is kind of like exploring non-locality. I'm here. I am here. And I am always going to be here. But that does not keep me bound to the here. When we look at the interconnectedness of all life and non-life is brought to the table, clarity can ensue. For the notion that group meditation can affect a situation on the other side of the planet, or that someone can be healed without any physical contact with the practitioner, can be a hard idea to wrap our minds around. As we explore interconnection and integration, we see that it all makes perfect sense. If we are all one, then our physical location really doesn't matter at all. So for us, the importance of this non-locality is to understand that where you are is where you make your difference. And in making your difference here, you make it everywhere. For if we truly are one in the one, then that is all that there is. So all of these come together, all of these characteristics come together, and as we look at them, we see what it means to be in ministry around these characteristics. And when I say ministry, I don't just mean me. I mean every single one of you. We're all in ministry. We're all ministering to ourselves and each other all of the time. And what we see is that this is the basis of our teaching. This is what we've been teaching all along. This is what we know the truth to be. All of these things. But what's different now? Why is it different now? The world is asking for it. In the past, we've been doing this teaching and we've been reaching out and we want to spread the word, so to speak, to make known that there is another way that we could be in this world and be with ourselves and thrive and allow everything else to thrive around us. Well, now this is what the world is asking for. It's asking for the connectedness, the interconnectedness. It is asking for all of these aspects to come forward now. So what are we called to do? We're all being called to stand witness to this. We're all being called to be the change we've always wanted to see in the world, because now it's actually going to matter even more than it ever did, because there is an opening for it to come forward and be known. And this will work in the individual experience of the person right next to you, or the person on the bus with you, or the person that's cutting you off in the road. We stay in this place of interconnectedness, for as we can change the individual experience, so we can change the experience of all those around. And we stay and we sit and we hold the place where people can align themselves with the new paradigm, because we are already in action in it. We've been in action for a long time. So we get to see the growth of this beauty around us. So when you do a small thing like stepping forward into service, you are serving not just this community, but you are serving humanity. For you know that each little thing you do has an impact not just in you, but in the world around you. This is the paradigm that is opening itself up. So what is the call to action around it? The call to action is to stand solidly, confidently, and unshakably in your faith. For you will understand that there will be times when there is going to be a breaking open and a falling apart. For this is needed to happen to allow the emergence of something greater to come forward. Your compassion, your willingness to sit in the discomfort where things get really antsy, will become your greatest strength. For we all know that when we put aside the doingness and lean into the beingness, into what we can allow to come forward that is not yet known, it will be known. So this is the call to action for each one of us to move into and to do. You've all done it already. You've all started. But isn't it beautiful to know that on this path and in this emerging paradigm, that we will get to see and experience the lives that we truly have always wanted to see. We might have to fasten our seatbelts, because it may not be smooth, but sometimes things need to break apart and break open for something beautiful to be known. We see it every single day on the rock, in the lava, and around us. So know that as you stand fully in who you are and in your knowingness, your trust, and your faith, that this is the greatest support you can give the world right now. So let me close with this little piece. It's called Be Thankful. Be thankful that you don't, be thankful that you don't already have everything you desire. If you did, what would there be to look forward to? Be thankful when you don't know something, for it gives you the opportunity to learn. Be thankful for the difficult times. During those times you grow. Be thankful for your limitations, because they give you the opportunities for improvement. Be thankful for each new challenge, because it will build your strength and character. Be thankful for your mistakes. They will teach you valuable lessons. Be thankful when you're tired and weary, because it means you've made a difference. It's easy to be thankful for the good things. A life of rich fulfillment comes to those who are also thankful for the setbacks. Gratitude can turn a negative into a positive. Find a way to be thankful for your troubles, and they will become your blessings. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you. Let's take this to prayer. So we just breathe into this moment right here, right now, recognizing the power and presence of the divine, knowing that it is truly the only activity that we are experiencing right here, right now. I know for each one of us that as we walk our path each and every day, that we are steeped in this incredible creative intelligence that is finding its way to reveal itself even as a greater expression as each and every one of us. And I know that as we step forward in any capacity to serve our fellows, to serve our community, we are serving humanity every single time. And so I know for each one of us that this week We will truly see the light that shines forth from others as we recognize the light that is shining forth from ourselves, as we walk our paths in love, gratitude, and in the knowingness that there is a great wonderment, an incredible experience that's yet to be known that is coming forth and breaking through right here, right now. And we get to stand up. So for all this, I'm grateful. For each person that is here, I am grateful. And I know that Spirit is saying yes to everything we do. Yes, my beloveds, yes. You've set your intentions. You've expressed your desires. You've stepped forward in love. And it is all already done and done magnificently. So we just